Stop looking at the price tag. The cost is not the problem. The problem is what you're using the purchase to do to your mind. If we analyze the timeline of a compulsive buyer, we rarely find a genuine need for an object. Instead, we find a specific trigger event that happens moments before you open the app. A flash of stress, a pang of loneliness, a sudden wave of boredom. Instead of shopping for products, you are shopping for dissociation. Psychologically, the digital marketplace acts as a numbing agent. The moment you begin scrolling, you enter a trance state. The demands of your reality, your job, your relationships, your debt are temporarily suspended. For 30 minutes, the world stops making demands of you, and you become the one making the choices. It is a coping mechanism designed to mute negative emotion. But like all anesthetics, the effect is temporary. When the box arrives, the problems you were avoiding are still there. Only now they are compounded by the weight of the clutter. You are trying to bail water out of a sinking ship, but you are using a bucket made of gold. Today, we are going to treat this not as a spending problem, but as an emotional regulation disorder. We're going to deconstruct why you use consumption to manage your mood and how to finally stop using your credit card as a pacifier. When you browse online, or when you walk through the aisles of a store, you are not looking at objects as they are. You are looking at what those objects represent. You don't buy the expensive running shoes because you love running. You buy them because you want to be the kind of person who runs at 5 in the morning. You don't buy the leather journal because you need paper. You buy it because you want to be the writer, the thinker, the person with deep thoughts. You don't buy the dress for the party. You buy it for the version of you who walks into that room feeling confident, seen, and adored. Instead of shopping for goods, you are shopping for an identity. Every item you add to your cart is a brick in the construction of an avatar you are trying to build. You are trying to bridge the gap between who you feel you are, tired, anxious, insufficient, and who you want to be. The purchase feels like a shortcut. It feels like magic. If I own the tools of this superior version of myself, surely I become them. But it is a trap, because you cannot buy a personality. You cannot purchase discipline. You cannot acquire confidence with a credit card. The tragedy of the Shopaholic is that they are full of dreams. You have so much vision for who you could be, but instead of doing the slow, heavy work of becoming that person, you try to buy the costume instead. You are filling your closet with the skins of the people you wish you were, while the real you stands in the middle of the room, feeling smaller than ever. Now, let's look at the biology, because your brain is playing a trick on you, and it is a trick that is millions of years old. Neuroscience tells us there is a difference between the wanting system and the liking system. The chemical dopamine is not a molecule of pleasure. It is a molecule of anticipation. It is designed to get you to move. It is the fuel of the hunt. In the wild, this mechanism kept us alive. It pushed us to find food, to find water, to find resources. The high was in the pursuit. When you are scrolling through an app, adding things to your cart, your brain is in the hunt. It is scanning, searching, identifying targets. Your heart rate elevates. Your focus narrows. You're in the zone. This is the high. But notice what happens. The moment the transaction is complete, the dopamine levels crash. The hunt is over. The liking system, the part of the brain that actually enjoys the thing you got, is much weaker and much shorter lived. This is why you can spend hours obsessing over a specific item, reading reviews, imagining it in your life, and then feel absolutely nothing for it 3 days after it arrives. You are addicted to the wanting, not the having. This cycle creates a profound sense of hollowness. You are constantly hungry, but you are eating air. You are chasing a horizon that moves away from you every time you take a step. And because you don't understand that the chemical crash is inevitable, you interpret it as a personal failure. You think, maybe that wasn't the right thing. Maybe I need the other one. Maybe I need more. And so the wheel turns again. But there is a darker layer here. For many of you, shopping is not just about the high. It is about the anesthesia. We live in a world that is loud, demanding, and often overwhelming. Your mind is constantly processing stressors, work, relationships, the news, your own insecurities. It is a relentless, static noise. When you shop, the world goes silent. Have you noticed that when you are deeply engaged in browsing, you enter a trance state? You lose track of time. The worries about your job fade into the background. The text message you are dreading doesn't exist. There is only the image, the price, and the button. It is a form of dissociation. It is a way to leave your body. For that hour, you are not a person with problems. You are a consumer with power. You are making choices. You are the master of this tiny digital domain. It is a refuge. This is why the urge to shop often hits hardest when you are feeling emotional pain, loneliness, rejection, boredom, or stress. You are trying to regulate your internal state. You're using the credit card as a pacifier. It is a self-soothing ritual, but like all anesthetics, it wears off. And when you wake up, the pain is still there, but now it has company. Now the pain is joined by debt. Now the anxiety is joined by clutter. We must also look at your history, because the way we treat resources as adults is almost always a reflection of how we felt as children. For some of you, this behavior comes from a place of deep deprivation. Maybe you grew up in a home where there wasn't enough, where you had to deny your needs, where asking for things was dangerous or futile. Now, as an adult, you have resources. And a part of you, the inner child, is terrified that it will all be taken away again. So you consume, you hoard, you surround yourself with abundance to prove to that scared little kid inside that they are okay. You are trying to build a fortress out of shoes and bags to keep the poverty away. But for others, the wound is different. Maybe you grew up in a home where love was transactional, where your parents were absent, or cold, or busy, but they bought you things to make up for it. I'm sorry I missed your game. Here's a new toy. I'm sorry we're fighting. Let's go to the mall. If this was your reality, your brain wired a deadly connection. Objects equal love. When you feel unloved, you buy something. When you want to show love to yourself, you buy something. You don't know how to sit with your emotions or how to validate your own existence without a price tag attached. You're trying to buy the affection you didn't get. You're trying to fill a heart-shaped hole with square boxes. So, how do we break the cycle? How do we step out of the trance? It requires a radical shift in perspective. You have to stop looking at the item and start looking at the itch. 1. The 48-hour pause. The first step is mechanical. You must introduce friction. The entire retail industry is designed to remove friction. One-click buy, Apple Pay, saved credit cards. They want you to move faster than you can think. You must slow down. Implement a mandatory 48-hour waiting period for any non-essential purchase. Put it in the cart and then close the tab. This does something crucial. It allows the dopamine spike to recede. It allows the wanting system to cool down. When you come back 2 days later, you will likely find that the urgency is gone. You will look at the item and wonder what the big deal was. You are giving your rational brain a chance to catch up to your emotional brain. 2. Interrogate the fantasy. When you want to buy something, ask yourself, who is this for? Are you buying this for the person you are right now? Or are you buying it for the fantasy self? Are you buying the yoga mat because you actually do yoga every day? Or are you buying it because you hope that owning the mat will make you start? If you are buying it to change who you are, put it back. Change your behavior first. Prove that you are that person with your actions, not your wallet. If you run every day for a month in your old sneakers, then you have earned the new ones. Let the purchase be a reward for the identity, not a substitute for it. 3. Identify the feeling. Next time the urge to shop hits you, that sudden magnetic pull to open the app, stop. Put the phone down. Close your eyes. What are you feeling right now? Are you bored? Are you lonely? Did someone just criticize you? Do you feel ugly? Name the emotion. Say it out loud. I am feeling anxious about my presentation tomorrow. Once you name it, you break the spell. You realize that buying a new watch will not fix the presentation. You realize that the shopping is a misdirection. Address the emotion directly. If you are lonely, call a friend. If you are bored, create something. If you are anxious, move your body. Treat the root, not the symptom. 4. The enoughness audit. Finally, you need to cultivate a sense of enoughness. Go to your closet. Look at the things you already own. Touch them. Remember the excitement you felt when you first bought them. That excitement is still there, buried under the need for the new. Shop your own home. Rediscover the abundance you already possess. Realize that you have enough. You are enough. The solution to compulsive buying is not financial. It is psychological. You are attempting to solve internal problems with external tools. You are trying to regulate your neurology with plastic and fabric. It is an ineffective strategy. The object will never deliver the state of mind you are paying for. The new feeling has a shelf life of minutes. The debt has a shelf life of years. Your worth is not hanging in your closet. It is not parked in your driveway. It is in the way you think, the way you love, and the way you exist in the silence when the buying stops. You don't need the new coat to be worthy of being seen. You don't need the new device to be worthy of being heard. You are already here. You have already arrived. Save your money. But more importantly, save your mind. So, if you realized you are using receipts to silence the noise in your head, tap like. And if you are tired of being a passenger in your own brain, subscribe. And remember, you are trying to buy a feeling, and that is the only thing that is not for sale.